Dear friends, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom and only good wishes and blessings for everyone for Shabbat in the coming week. In this week's Torah portion, Teitze, Moshe reviews many of the mitzvahs from the Torah. A lot of them are related to our responsibilities to our fellow human being, making sure to give charity, not to lend with interest, to give loans. Many mitzvahs related to our fields and the things that we're allowed to do and not allowed to do. And there's one mitzvah that is fascinating. And it's called, in Hebrew, shikha. It means forgotten. And the only way this mitzvah can happen is when you forget something. Unlike every other mitzvah, where you have to know what you're doing. You have to have the intent of doing the action that you are participating in. Whether you have to have the full intention and thoughts when you do it is a discussion. But you have to have intent to do the action. But when it comes to this mitzvah, is when you are reaping what you had grown in the field, and you're gathering sheaves in your field, and while you were gathering them together, a few fell out from your hand. Just a few. You're not allowed to go back and check over what fell and say, I 2 sheaves fell here, 1 fell here, I'm going to pick it up and I'll be able to make more money, have more for myself. So the Torah says no. If you forgot it, as long as it's not a full bundle that you're ready at bundle to take with you and sell or whatever other purpose, but if you forgot a few sheaves, you got to leave it in the field. And this is really fascinating. How is it that you do a mitzvah without even having it in mind to do a mitzvah? And actually, in charity, we find it as well. That if money falls out of your pocket and someone else, a poor person, picks up the money and benefits from it, even though you had no intention to give the money, and they just found it, you did the mitzvah of tzedakah, of charity. And here we see how mitzvahs are supposed to penetrate us. Obviously, when someone has intent and is thinking of what they should be doing, you can direct yourself, habituate yourself to do what's right. But the Torah wants the mitzvahs to get into our deep internal self, that it becomes just part of who I am, and that my nature becomes that I leave behind a few sheaves for the poor. Something falls out of my pocket and a mitzvah occurs with it. This doesn't just happen from nothing. But the more we internalize the mitzvah, the more intention we have while doing all the mitzvahs, trying to internalize the mitzvah, the message of the mitzvah, trying to make it a part of who we are. God gives us the opportunity that sometimes, even by forgetting, we also fulfill a mitzvah. It becomes an exact part and parcel of who I am. Because in truth, we all have a neshama, a soul, and our soul wants to do all the mitzvahs. But we also have a yetzer hara, an evil inclination, a worldly soul that's more interested in our own indulgence, survival, and enjoyment. And we have to work very hard to ensure that we actually fulfill the mitzvahs. But when we put in that effort, Hashem says that automatically, without even realizing, you will have benefited someone else. And I want to tell you another example, how that can happen in a practical way. And that is that if you just get used to being a mensch, saying hi to people, smiling, welcoming them, be the first one to say good morning, just say an uplifting word. You may not realize that with those few words, you may have changed a person's day. You may have given them a whole new lease on life. Just a few weeks ago when I was by the National Jewish Retreat, and one of my classes was about the 7 pillars of success. And it was fascinating. We talked about some very interesting topics. And a woman comes over to me afterwards, says, here's my number, I want to have a discussion with you. And when I reach out to her, she tells me, for years I've been searching for an answer. And I walk into the class, and here I got the answer I've been looking for. I had no idea she was searching. I had no idea I'm going to be talking to someone about their particular thing in life, but you never know. And the more you incorporate good things in your life, and for Jew, good things is led by Torah, its values, principles, mitzvahs, the observances, the more you'll find that even without knowing, you're making impact, you're making change in someone else's life, without question in your life as well. So I want to wish you Shabbat Shalom. God bless you all. Let's use the rest of the month to get ready for the high holidays, so we show Hashem that we are with Him. From outside and inside, we're fully with Him and ready to start a new year and make